Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alicia and we're back for another Power Review Season 6, Episode 3, Forgot About Dre. We got our theme song back so you guys can relax. I was happy. I was jamming to it. So we just started off this episode. They didn't waste any time to get right into it. And we see Donovan is trying to rush Dre along to get ready to testify against Alicia. And next thing you know, we see a bunch of men come in and just shoot the place up. Like, I was so shocked. Like, I didn't know what was happening. And then next thing you know, I was scared because the little girl was in Donovan's hand. And then Dre takes her and they're just trying to get through this whole thing. And then next thing you know, once the coast is clear, he goes ahead and he shoots Donovan. I was just like, damn. And then he flees to the airport. And I was like, well, why would he go to the airport? I just thought that was a silly move on his part. And he gets caught immediately. And then, Knox's boss is trying to figure out what had happened with the whole Dre situation. And I don't think, how would he really know? Because he didn't really know about the situation himself. So he goes and he asks Dre, and Dre doesn't tell him that he killed Donovan. But anyway, he still has to testify. So we also see that Tommy brings Keisha to the trap. And I was just like, here we go again. But okay, I can't talk too much junk about Keisha this episode because she actually showed up and proved me wrong. So I can't say anything. But I just want to say this. I feel like every time Tommy gets with his crew and they try to get these jokes off, they don't be hitting. They do not connect, not to me. And I don't know, I just think the writing kind of sucks there when it comes to those jokes that they're trying to get off. Anyway, Knox goes and meets with Alicia and her lawyer, and the lawyer is basically saying, your witness is, he has a really bad track record, and this is the only thing that's holding your case together, and we want all charges dropped. And I was just like, now Alicia is behind too much stuff out there in these streets. So I just think that was kind of, a stretch. But anyway, of course, Knox does not take that offer. Also, we see Ghost and Tate go through this situation with the Queens project, and basically they were out of money. And this woman from DC, I couldn't remember her name, she comes along, and her organization or whomever she's with made a major donation and came and just switched everything around, fired a bunch of people, and now she went to go check out Ghost to see kind of, what he was about. And I was just like, I don't know, it seemed like, something could have happened between the two of them. But I always noticed this back and forth of maybe a power struggle between Tate and Ghost. And last episode, Tate kind of had a one-up on him, and now it kind of scaled back. And because Ghost is able to, he has that gift of gab with the women. So, she pulls him back in, and Tate is just like, really? But anyway, we see later on that Ghost actually meets up with Simon to get some money for the Queens Project. Well, no, not the Queens Project. To pay Jason. But I was just like, okay, I kind of miss seeing Simon. He seemed like he lost some weight. He seems a little slimmer, a little older now. But yeah, it was kind of good to see him, but he's a snake. So Ghost knows what he's doing when it comes to dealing with Simon. Anyway, what else do we have? So let's just get to the big ordeal of this episode. And that's because Jason wants Tommy and Ghost to kill Alicia. No, not kill her. I'm moving too fast. He wants them to go and bust her out of jail and bring her to him. And at first, I didn't understand why he was trying to have them do it separately. But we see that Proctor, Ghost goes to Proctor, and then Tommy goes to Proctor to try to figure out what her details were when it came to her traveling that day and all the court information to basically get at her that day. And I was super scared. So Ghost was good where he met with Proctor, because he met with Proctor at, I think, Truth. But Tommy came to Proctor's house, and the daughter had to go upstairs, but she came back to get her book bag. But some of that conversation, I feel like, is like it was caught by that little thing, the unicorn. So I was like, uh-oh. But I don't know how much, maybe nothing, who knows. But I was like, damn. So anyway, I was just like, this is just going to be ugly when it comes to that whole unicorn situation, and Proctor being bugged. So we see, well, I didn't understand why Proctor didn't say anything to Tommy or Ghost about them both asking him for the information on Alicia. You know what I mean? But I guess for the sake of the episode, that's the way they wanted to play out. So we see Alicia, she gets to the courthouse and she's in the courtroom, and then they had Dre come out, which I was like, well, who messed that up? Like, why would they have him come out before his time? Like, the court wasn't even in session. So that was a bit weird. Anyway, the guy working, I don't know what you call him, the bailiff? I'm not sure. But he comes and gives Alicia a cup of water. And this is where I got a little confused. So if you know anything, let me know in the comments. But basically, he gives her a cup of water, she drinks it, and then she gets sick. And that got the ball rolling. So I'm wondering, was it Ghost that started that, or that was a part of Ghost's plan, or was it a part of Tommy's plan? Because we see Ghost like send a text message to him, and he receives it, and he sees like a sum of money is deposited to him, I guess. And he goes and gives her the water. I think he got the text before he sent the water. So I'm just confused, because how was Tommy going to get the ball rolling if he was going to have Keisha meet her in the bathroom to check to see if she was in the bathroom, so they can get going? But I just don't know. So just let me know what you guys think. But I'm thinking it was Ghost. But basically, from that point, she goes to the bathroom. They check the bathroom. They think nobody's in there, but Keisha's there. Now, I thought Keisha was not going to end up doing this, because she was on the stairs of the courthouse, and she about to turn around, but she came back in. And I was like, okay, she's about to fuck this up. Like, I just knew it. But she didn't. But she had a small role. Like, she really didn't have to do that much. So, okay. But anyway, she texts Tommy and let him know that she's in the bathroom. So we see that Tommy's plan is to get her, they're going to be the EMTs to get her out. So I was like, okay. And I didn't really understand Ghost's plan. If you do, let me know in the comments, because I was like, all right, he seems like he's like a maintenance guy. And I was like, this is really risky for Ghost to come into the courthouse when Knox and other court officials, and you know what I mean? They're in there and they know your face. And I'm like, even Dre saw you, and it was like a side profile, and he still knew it was you. And he got out of there. When he was pressing that elevator, I just knew like one of the lawyers was gonna come in here and spot him. And I was like, oh my God. So, but that didn't happen. But he gets to the garage, and he sees that Tommy and his crew is the one wheeling Alicia into the, ambulance. And they lock eyes or whatever. And that's when I guess they realized that Jason set them up to both do it. But yeah, so I had a feeling like maybe if something went wrong in that situation, or at that moment, that Ghost is going to do something to make it work, even though it was Tommy who was pretty much winning, just to make sure, because if one of them don't do it and deliver, it's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? So anyway, that didn't happen, but they, Tommy gets her to Jason, and Jason is asking Alicia for all this information, and she's just like, fuck you. And then he shoots the shit out of her. I was like, damn. And then Tommy is like, well, but why did you have me bring her here if you was going to shoot her? And he basically said, I wanted to kill her myself. Like, it wasn't even about nothing. Basically, he wanted her out of the picture, and he got her out of the picture. But Tommy asks him, I believe, why did you have me and Ghost do the same job? And, just like I thought, Jason thought that Ghost was going to be the one to deliver, but it was Tommy. And I was really surprised by that. So I have to give Tommy and his crew and Keisha their props for making that happen. So before that, last episode, my friend basically made a prediction that Tommy and Ghost needed to work together to kill Jason. And that's basically what Ghost called and asked Tommy, to get on the same, wavelength with him and do that. And Tommy basically says no. And I'm just like, okay, Tommy is just Tommy. Like, I think he's going to come around, but I just thought that was kind of stupid. Like, come on now, you and Ghost have to keep paying him money, or you're going to have to keep doing whatever he wants you to do, all this wild, crazy stuff like the thing they did tonight. So I think it's just in their best interest to do that. But Tommy tells Ghost that, like, you lost because you ain't got nobody. And he made a very, very good point. And he's right. Like, Ghost pretty much doesn't have anybody. He was going to do it solo, it seems like. But nah, you needed multiple people to really make that work. And you trying to get the dude that works at the courthouse, like, and betting on that wasn't really that sufficient, even though he could do it. But you still need more players. Like, I really want to know what his plan was. But yeah, Tommy was right. He got one up on him. And I think that's definitely the change between, the issue between the both of them. Like, we know Tommy isn't as good as Ghost, but we see now that with Ghost standing alone and Tommy having a whole crew, he was able to get shit done. So, I don't know. This episode was really good. I would give it like an A-. I'm glad that the theme song is back, and I'm glad that it was like pretty eventful this whole episode. But thanks for watching, and if you have any predictions, leave me a comment, or any comment or whatever. Just show me some love, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.